Hello, welcome to Storytime Online. I'm Karen Scott with the Hamilton South Caddo Branch of the Shreve Memorial Library. Welcome to Storytime Online. Let's sing our hello song. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. We're doing an exciting Dragon Storytime today. Our first story is King Arthur's very great grandson by Kenneth Reagan. On the day Henry turned 6 years old, he woke up early, ate a large breakfast, mounted his trusty donkey, Knuckles, and went out in search of adventure. He had heard of a fire-breathing dragon lurking far out in the hills, so into the hills he went. When he found the terrible dragon, Henry announced himself loudly, "Behold, vile worm, I, Henry Alfred Grimorson, a knight of King Arthur's blood, do hereby challenge you to a fight to the uttermost." The dragon drew in a long, slow, deep breath. But all he blew out was some smoke rings. "Can you top that, young knight?" "Smoke rings!" Henry exclaimed. "I have no time for smoke rings. I want to fight. Strength against strength, might against might." "I see. Well, if rough adventure is what you seek, maybe you should try the Cyclops up in the high mountains." Straightway, Henry and Knuckles sped into the high mountains, eager to do battle with the one-eyed giant. Near the day's end, Henry found himself face to face with the dreaded Cyclops. "Giant, I am here to do battle with you. Prepare yourself and let us begin." The Cyclops stared at Henry, and Henry stared back. They stared and stared until Henry could stare no longer. "Enough, Lona!" Henry shouted. "You have had time aplenty. Let the battle commence." "But the battle has already begun," the Cyclops explained. "Whoever blinks first is the loser. I thought you understood." "No, no," cried Henry. "I'm not interested in a staring contest. I want a struggle of arms, a test of might and courage." The Cyclops considered. "If it is physical peril you desire, you should visit the Griffin down in the valley." Once again, Henry and Knuckles were off. They galloped through the night, eager to do battle with the ferocious Griffin. High in the branches of a massive chestnut tree, Henry found the grim Griffin. He held out his sword and cried, "Aha, strange bird! I am come, and at last I have found a worthy opponent. Now unsheathe your claws, and let us have ado." And to Henry's delight, the formidable beast agreed and pulled out a chessboard. "I prefer black, is that okay?" the Griffin asked. "No, it is not okay," shouted Henry. "I want swordplay, a struggle, a battle to the uttermost. And if you will not have ado with me, tell me who will." "Well, if it is danger you seek," advised the Griffin, "then go down to the sea and you will find the Leviathan. Of all the living beasts, he is to be most feared." So Henry leaped atop Knuckles and rode fiercely to the sea, determined to have a battle, come what may. There in the roiling waters, Henry caught a glimpse of a truly enormous beast just below the surface. He cleared his throat, gathered together his 6 years of manhood, and shouted, "Ready yourself, monster, and I shall have ado with you. For I am Henry Alfred Grimorson, the great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson of Arthur, King of Britain." "Greetings! I say greetings to the highly esteemed great. Hey, wait! Where are you going? I thought you were going to play a game. Hello?" Henry had gotten washed ashore. Even though he had not subdued the Leviathan, Henry was not dismayed. After all, he had traveled great distances and come face to face with 4 terrible monsters. To his knowledge, not even the great King Arthur had accomplished so much in his first 2 days as a 6-year-old. But Henry had also found something he had not known he had been looking for: friendship. And he liked that very much. King Arthur's very great-grandson. King Arthur was a famous knight that liked to do battles and help ladies in distress. I think his grandson will do the same. This is a book by Jack Proletsky called The Dragons Are Singing Tonight. I wish I had a dragon with diamond-studded scales, with claws like silver sabers and fangs like silver nails. A dragon fierce and faithful, always ready by my side. A dragon to defend me or take me for a ride. I wish I had a dragon with eyes of shiny gold, who breathed a plume of fire whenever it was told. A dragon so ferocious it might frighten Frankenstein, but not a lazy dragon who sleeps all day like mine. Jack Proletsky. Would you like to have a dragon? This is called Waking Dragons, Jane Yolen. Can you imagine what it might be like to wake a dragon? This little knight, his mother left a note for him. Don't forget to wake the dragons before school. Love, Mom. He's got his armor on. He's got his lunch pail. It's like he had to climb a ladder. Dragons, wake up! The dragons rise. Dragons open, dragon eyes. Dragons blink, dragons bumble. Dragons leap, dragons tumble out of bed. To brush their teeth, the fangs above, the fangs beneath. Put their jammies in the hamper, then all dragons skip and scamper. Down the hall on 4 big feet, to the kitchen there to eat. Breakfast waffles topped with syrup, which makes dragons really chirrup. Wipe their faces, runny noses, get into their outdoor clothes. Kiss their dragon mom goodbye, leap from cave into the sky, where dragons get to fly and fly and fly. Waking Dragons. This is another book by Jack Proletsky. This is one of my favorite poems that he wrote. Once they all believed in dragons when the world was fresh and young. We were woven into legends, tales were told and songs were sung. We were treated with obeisance, we were honored, we were feared. Then one day they stopped believing. On that day we disappeared. Now they say our time is over. Now they say we've lived our last. Now we're treated with derision, where we once ruled unsurpassed. We must make them all remember. In some way we must reveal that our spirits live forever. We are dragons. We are real. And I want to do my last story. It's about the kiss that missed, by David Melling. Once upon a time, a Tuesday, the king was in a hurry, as usual. "Good night," he said, and he blew his son a royal kiss. It missed! The young prince watched it rattle around the room, then bounce out of the window and into the night. The prince told the queen, "Mama!" The queen told the king, and the king had a quick word with his knight. "Follow that kiss," he squawked. The knight mounted the horse, eventually, with his net in hand, and he galloped off in hot pursuit until they came to the wild wood. Wild creatures with wild eyes, too much hair, and very bad manners lived here. It was dark. It was smelly. It was snowing. They were not alone. There were bears with long claws and growly roars, swooping owls of all shapes and sizes, and a pack of hungry wolves with dribbly mouths. "Eek!" squeaked the knight. And then suddenly, with a sparkle, the royal kiss came floating by, and in turn said good night to everyone. Bears stopped being growly. Owls stopped being swoopy. Wolves stopped being dribbly. And before you could say, "Follow that kiss," they all settled down for a good night's sleep. After a while, they sat down on a wrinkly old tree trunk to rest. The wrinkly old tree trunk twitched and slowly rose into the air, and up above the woods, into the clouds. At last they found themselves staring into a pair of very hairy nostrils. A dragon with this pair would be nice on toast eyes leered greedily at them. Suddenly, with a sparkle, the royal kiss came floating by and flew right up to the dragon's nose. He sat up, sniffed, and blinked. Slowly he opened his mouth, took a deep breath, and sneezed. "Hang on," he said as they tumbled through the trees. "Come back," he puffed as he lumbered after them. "I want to pick you up and kiss you good night." Slowly they all made their way back to the castle. That night the prince was happy, the queen was happy, and the king promised to stop always being in a hurry. He made sure everyone was comfortable and slowly read them a bedtime story from beginning to end, almost. And that's the story of the kiss that missed. Some are pudgy, some are thin, some have shiny silver skin, some have claws, some have scales, some have graceful golden tails. Some like dark, some like light, for reading stories late at night. Now it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Thanks for listening to my stories.